UFC 232's co-main event will be the biggest women's MMA fight the sport has ever seen.
She can devastate you everywhere.
As featherweight champion Chris Cyborg welcomes a challenger unlike any she has ever faced.
Amanda Nunes can crack you and put you away with one shot.
Bantamweight title holder Amanda Nunes. These Brazilian women represent a long-standing tradition of their nation's supremacy.
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟，补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
To win a fight in the UFC.
Amanda Nunes just keeps getting better and better.
And after climbing the bantamweight ranks,
her wins become more and more spectacular. There's the tap!
She became the first ever Brazilian female UFC champion.
What a dominant victory by Amanda Nunes.
Brasil! Olha isso aí! Estão matando no nosso! It means a lot, and I always try to do everything the right way. Because I know I have a lot of kids that look up to me, and I want to inspire them to become a champion one day as well.
She went on to soundly dispatch the iconic Ronda Rousey.
Flawless performance by Amanda Nunes.
But perhaps her greatest moment came in her most recent title defense, where she returned to Rio as a headliner.
The first Brazilian woman to get the opportunity to defend her belt on Brazilian soil.
Bring the belt home and share my happiness with people in my country.
Pennington covering up. Amanda Nunes gets the finish. Nunes defends in Rio.
It was amazing.
A few hundred miles south of Rio is Curitiba, another mixed martial arts mecca. That was home base for the renowned Shootbox Academy. The gym gave rise to MMA legends like Vanderlei Silva, as well as UFC champions like Mauricio Shogun Rua, Anderson Silva, and the reigning featherweight champ Chris Cyborg, who now splits time between her native Brazil and Southern California, which is an MMA hotbed in its own right.
I came from Brazil. I came from shootbox. I learned a lot of things shootbox, like I'm born there. But Jason knows everything.
Famed boxing coach Jason Perillo has spent the last 7 years transforming Cyborg's brawling aggression into technical perfection.
It's a joy training the greatest fighter of all time. It really is.
What you're walking people down now is a whole different animal. You know what I mean? You're seeing where you're going. You're not just going there in blind rage. You know exactly what you're doing.
It makes it a lot less stressful when you know that they have all this ability.
Once you're up and over.
He's changing me as a fighter, like patient, think more, do the right punch at the right time. You see my first beginning of my fights. It's more hard. Of course, I have technical, but I don't think too much like I think now.
Cyborg's raw talent saw her capture a Strikeforce title before conquering the Invicta Championship as well. But she became so dominant that potential challengers began to recognize their fate, and finding opponents became increasingly difficult.
Sharp, Chris. Like a shark.
I remember a fight back in the day.
Nice touch in there.
I believe it was up to 8 opponents that pulled out on her. Tough girl ended up picking up the fight, and she got put out in the first round.
She defends her Invicta Featherweight Championship.
That was terrifying.
You could be a 145-pound man and not want to sign that contract.
Cyborg entered the UFC, where willing adversaries are plentiful.
Leslie's hurt.
And a knockout in her hometown of Curitiba.
She has run roughshod through the competition.
Opened the door for her journey to the 145-pound title.
So here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight finally gets her chance to get her mitts on a UFC belt. Chris Cyborg can add UFC champion to the ledger.
Cyborg would defend the belt against former bantamweight champion Holly Holm.
The power difference is just so obvious.
But few females were clamoring for their shot until rumblings of an interested contender emerged.
We're hearing about Amanda Nunes, that she wants to challenge you. So if that's the case, would you prefer that fight?
You know, I always said I don't like fight somebody Brazilian. Why am I going to fight one Brazilian champion? Because I have a dream seeing all the Brazilians one day you were champion UFC. But she started calling me out.
All the girls don't do that because they're scared of her. But I'm not. I'm a lioness.
So here she is, the lioness. And when she gets you in trouble, she never lets you off the hook. She doesn't think about the next minute, the reset, the next round. She thinks about taking her opponent out.
But Chris Cyborg has been so overwhelmingly dominant.
Chris Cyborg!
Another victory for her. She steps in on short notice, just a couple of weeks, and dismantles Yana Kunitskaya. Amanda Nunes. Amanda wants it. Do you want it?
I want it, yeah. It's the fight to make. It's the fight everybody wants.
I text Dan White, like, I wanted this fight because I don't have nobody in my division.
No caso da Amanda, é uma luta que ainda te interessa? Você acha que essa luta ainda acontece?
Então, na verdade, eu tinha falado que, primeiramente, eu não queria lutar com ela por ela ser brasileira, e a partir do momento que ela falou, eu quero lutar com a Cris.
I know she's Brazilian, but when you become a professional fighter, to become the best, you want to beat the best.
She called me out, and when you call Cyborg out, you have to handle it.
Nunes gets her wish on December 29th, when she will challenge Cyborg for her featherweight title, an attempt to become the first female to hold 2 UFC belts simultaneously.
Fazendo história. Isso é o que eu penso agora nesse momento da minha carreira. São duas campeões. Eu no 135, a Cris no 145. Então, com certeza vai ser Copa do Mundo no Brasil.